This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
An amendment to the immigration law has been presented to Cabinet, and according to Immigration Minister Brian Simonet, will be sent out for discussion in short order. This as nearly 170 Haitian migrants have already been apprehended in Bahamian waters 8 days into the new year. It's a disturbing trend, the minister will tell you, is typical this time of year. Still, many of these migrants end up before the courts. For instance, just last week, more than 100 were formally charged with illegal landing. The group pleaded guilty. They've since been repatriated.
Regrettably, for some of the persons who took some earlier very high-profile cases to the court, we are now taking them to court when they are found, whereas before we used to deport them, which now means all of those Haitian persons and others that get deported have a criminal record. Under my watch, to the best of my ability, no one will get a work permit that has a criminal record. So those persons have been sort of put in a bad position because of the previous cases this year, and the lawyers were quite right to bring them if they wanted to. That's their business. But now persons will be prosecuted, they'll have a criminal record, and they will.
If you're wondering how these migrants enter the country, the minister says they're not doing it on their own.
They are not doing this alone. There are people that live amongst us that are facilitating these people. And one of the things the Immigration Act does deal with is harboring of illegal immigrants. And I ask Bahamian people, if you're concerned about it, to report anyone that you realize is harboring or facilitating these people and we will prosecute them accordingly, because they don't just turn up.
Over 400 Haitian migrants were reportedly apprehended in 2018. Now, Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield acknowledges that the influx of migrants poses a threat, begging the need for an investment in security.
The issue of illegal migration is such a ripe topic all across the globe. Everywhere you go, people are talking about it because there has to be controlled migration. A government does not plan for illicit migration or illegal migration into its territories. We plan for what we know, and so we're gonna have to find more ways in which to mitigate and to stem the flow. I think the Defense Force is doing a good job. I think we will continue to work as assiduously as we can on the diplomatic front to cause the Haitian government to come to the table and appreciate the efforts that we're trying to make.
As for further talks with the Haitian government, the minister says there are no plans to follow through with that.
The Haitian government has appointed a new foreign minister, Minister Bochet. I have been trying to reach him, but to no avail. We have spoken, and we will continue to speak with the embassy officials here locally to see how we can begin to revitalize the talks.
That aside, Minister Henfield agrees that this is an issue that cannot be solved with just enforcement, but that really more needs to be done from the diplomatic side. It seems Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson has some hypnotic powers, at least according to opposition leader Philip Davis, who's concluded as much based on the union leader's recent success in getting education officials to improve conditions at the C.H. Reeves Junior High School, extend the traditional Christmas break for teachers, and renovate A.F. Adderley Junior High. And all this in the face of continued tension on the labor front. Mr. Davis says he's been advised that everything Mrs. Wilson requested has been approved, while the concerns of other unions have fallen on deaf ears.
All the union leader has to do is go to the PM and the instructions are sent down. With the education being one of the most important pillars in the country, why would Cabinet agree to delay the opening of school year? How does it benefit the country? How does it benefit our children?
Mr. Davis subsequently called on the Prime Minister to treat all union officials fairly. Meanwhile, our news team reached out to Mrs. Wilson for comment. There was no response up to airtime. The Department of Environmental Health has come up with a plan to reduce the larger than usual accumulation of garbage in recent weeks. Come next month, that once-a-week collection will be done twice weekly. DHS Director Melanie McKenzie anticipates the new system will lead to a much smoother collections operation. The vast majority of the 61 collection routes on New Providence had reportedly been completed by 2 p.m. Monday. According to Ms. McKenzie, this past weekend, 8 of the contracted garbage collection companies worked overtime to remove excess garbage, while routine collections were slated to begin today. The whole issue of garbage collection also addressed during the opposition leader's press briefing this morning. Mr. Davis at the time chided the government for reportedly terminating the services of all garbage collection companies and replacing them with people who, he says, do not possess the necessary equipment to carry out the service. A check on sports and weather up next.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.